Happening right now, people in Mapleton are being asked to shelter in place after reports of shots fired. The Cass County Sheriff's Office says it's all happening near 5th Street and 5th Avenue North. This situation has been going on for hours. Police set up a perimeter just before noon. Now we go out to Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley, who is live on the scene. Bailey, can you tell us what's happening there?
Yes, Stacey, this is now an active crime scene. The North Dakota BCI is here on scene as they are leading this investigation now. As neighbors tell me, they heard several, some say about 10 rapid fire shots go off about just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. What I'm told is that all law enforcement officers who were here on scene down where I'm standing right now, we're about 2 blocks away from where this all unfolded. I'm told all of the law enforcement officers who are involved in this situation are okay. However, the person at the center of this incident, as to why we've been here all day, their condition is unknown at this time. To kind of backtrack, again, like you said, Stacey, police were called here a little bit before 11 for shots fired. When police arrived here on scene, they themselves then heard another shot go off. So that's when they ordered that shelter in place to make sure that neighbors didn't go walking up and down the street, stayed away from their doors, from their windows. That's about 2 blocks each way. You can see, Davis, if you can pan, the BCI truck is now just rolling up here on scene as we're with you here live. Then police put that perimeter up in place, and it was kind of a sit and wait game. The person of interest's brother and their father were here on scene as to try and talk with that person in the home to try and encourage them, support them, to get them to surrender peacefully. Those negotiations went on for quite some time. Sheriff Johnner did tell us that they made successful contact with that person several times, but it was taking longer than they were hoping for. I left the scene for about 45 minutes, and in that time, that is when the rest of the situation unfolded. We are supposed to be briefed by Sheriff Johnner and North Dakota Highway Patrol within the next hour. We'll continue to keep you updated. For now, live in Mapleton, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Bailey. And we will continue to update this story on your VNL News app. You can download and use it for free. Just search VNL News in your app store. New for you at 4, a man was found dead in Lake Bemidji State Park. Police say they responded to a medical call on Tuesday at a rental cabin in the park. Deputies found the body of Matthew Scarperud inside an enclosed porch. They say there were no obvious signs of trauma or suspicious circumstances. The autopsy results are pending. And a tragic update. One of the men involved in the fiery truck crash along the interstate is dead. 71-year-old Reed Satram of Detroit Lakes died this morning. He was flown to a Twin Cities hospital for serious burns before he passed away. He was driving his pickup along I-94 near University Drive exit when authorities say he crashed into the back of a semi last Friday. The passenger, 53-year-old Everett Northrup, remains in the hospital with serious injuries. Let's go to Summer now for a first look at your forecast. Summer.
Thank you so much, Stacey, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. It's been a fairly overcast day. A few peaks of sun up in the far northern valley. A little bit of a breeze blowing those flags on our home of economy Grand Forks Skycam. But here's a look at temperatures so far today. We knew it was going to be a little bit cooler than the last couple, and so far our peak temperatures have been in the 70s. 73 in Thief River Falls and Fosston, Hadlock and Roseau as well. 76 here in Fargo, 79 Grand Forks, a few 80s down to the south and east. 81 Valley City and Gwinner, the peak temperatures so far this afternoon. Right now, we're still in the 70s to some 80s for most, and we've had a few passing clouds through the day. Still the most cloud cover along and north of US Highway 2, and a few showers within that cloud cover as well. Could potentially see a few rumbles of thunder developing in northern Minnesota, but not expecting any severe weather. For the next few hours here in Fargo, I expect mostly sunny sky and temperatures falling into the 70s by about midnight. Coming up, Stacey, we have some heat and storm chances to talk about, so stick around.
All right, thanks so much, Summer. Turning now to Kentucky, where more than 30 people have died in a flood. The governor says that number will continue to grow as rescue teams make their way to more hard-hit mountain towns and villages.
If things weren't hard enough on the people of this region, they're getting rain right now. There is severe storm potential today in all of the impacted areas. That is just not right.
The National Guard alone has pulled more than 400 survivors from the floodwaters. Officials are continuing rescue efforts and to restore electricity. A toddler is in stable condition after being found unresponsive in a lake yesterday. That happened just before 11 a.m. at Sand Lake, north of Pelican Rapids. The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office says several families had gathered at the lake. They realized a 2-year-old was missing. He was found face down in the water near the shore. One of the family members, a firefighter, began CPR. After about a minute, they were able to get him breathing again. The boy was taken to a nearby hospital, and he's reportedly in stable condition. One man is under arrest after police say he stole a squad car, prompting a chase. Authorities say it happened yesterday just before 1 a.m. at the Bagley Police Department. An officer says he was going out to his squad car when he noticed it driving down the road. Police say the suspect broke the car's window and got away. Clearwater County deputies chased the vehicle into Monoman County, where deputies used spike strips and eventually a pit maneuver to stop the squad car. 27-year-old Shane Tieglin was arrested on multiple pending charges. Police responded to a report of shots fired in North Fargo this morning. They now say it was a prank call, but the person responsible is under arrest. Fargo police say the call came in around 5 a.m. The caller was brief and hung up with the police immediately. When police arrived, they couldn't find the woman, a witness, or any evidence of a crime. Later, police learned it was a fake call. They arrested 25-year-old Kwame Twum for providing false report and harassment. He also had several outstanding warrants. The man convicted of murdering 4 people in North Dakota is now dead after taking his own life in prison. Authorities say that they were called yesterday to the state prison in Bismarck for reports of an inmate who was self-harming. The inmate was identified as 48-year-old Chad Isaac. He was rushed to the hospital, then pronounced dead. Isaac was convicted last year for killing 4 people in a workplace violent attack in Mandan. Authorities are now investigating how he was able to take his own life. In other news, most students in the U.S. are heading into the new school year with an optional mask policy. About 98% of the top 500 kindergarten through 12th grade schools don't require face coverings. However, the School Superintendents Association says policies could change in some areas where COVID cases escalate. Cases are rising again nationwide, fueled by the BA.5 subvariant. The CDC is still recommending universal indoor masking for schools in locations with a high community level. Right now, that's nearly half the nation. Many major American cities are seeing public school enrollment decline. It's causing schools to tighten their budgets and, in some cases, consolidate. Experts say during the pandemic, families switched to homeschooling, charter schools, and other options. So extra money was allocated to these small schools, diverting dollars from larger schools. On top of that, federal relief money will run out soon. Districts must budget that money by September 2024. When they do, districts may be hard-pressed to keep all of their schools afloat. The first ship carrying grain from Ukraine set off from the port city of Odessa today under a deal brokered by the United Nations and Turkey aimed at easing soaring global food prices. Ian Lee reports from London.
It's a welcome sound for a Ukrainian city more used to the torment of air raid sirens. This cargo ship packed with 28,000 tons of corn left Ukraine on Monday, bound for Lebanon. It's the first shipment since Russia's invasion more than 5 months ago. This Odessa resident said, "I was delighted when I heard the ship whistle. Finally, life is moving forward and there's some changes in a positive direction." It's part of a deal struck by Turkey, the UN, and Russia last month that allows Ukraine to safely export grain. The move is expected to release huge stores of Ukrainian crops to foreign markets and to help ease a growing hunger crisis. The Kremlin called it positive news. 22 million tons of grain and other agricultural products have been stuck in the country's Black Sea ports for months.
Of course, there's a new harvest coming in as well, so it's really imperative that we get the existing grain out in order to be able to replenish the silos with the new harvest.
Ukraine is one of the world's largest grain exporters, but just getting to port can be difficult and dangerous. Russia is accused of purposefully shelling fields to start fires, with farmers wearing flak jackets while harvesting in the crosshairs, all so they can help feed the world. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Last week, the owner of one of Ukraine's largest grain-producing companies was killed along with his wife when Russia shelled another Ukrainian port city.